Very often that I see Amazon sellers who struggle to make profit on Amazon make this one particular mistake. I'm Vadim, the founder of PPC JumpStart, and in this video I will explain to you why using sponsored products exact match type campaigns is your best bet if you want to finally become profitable this week or just make more profit. So this will be a quick video to help you guys understand the methodologies and strategies that we can follow to help your business be more profitable, achieve lower tacos, and this is exactly what we do in our agency. So first of all, let's start with this tab. This is a weekly spreadsheet we share with our clients. On a weekly basis, you get updates for your spend sales, total sales, and your tacos. In this particular case, we are aiming to be in around 15, 16, 17% for this client. Anything below 15 is good, as long as it doesn't come at expense of overall sales. So as you can see that this particular client, they have a decent amount of organic sales. So percentage of organic sales coming from PPC is 40%, next week is 28%, next week is 43%. So most of the time when we get most of our sales coming organically, the tacos is usually fine. But for the purpose of this video, let's assume that this week this client had 70% of sales coming in from PPC. Last week it was 80%. And the week before it was, let's just a random number, 68%. Typically with figures like this, you would see a much higher tacos, let's say 20%, 25%, and 17. Again, there are exceptions to the rule. Let's assume in this case our goal is to maximize our profit, get our tacos under control, 15% or 10%, whatever you want it to be. What are the actions we are going to do in our agency to help this account get to the desired tacos percentage, also known as profit? First thing we need to understand is that cases like when the tacos is too high and we want to focus on profit, we need to have most of our ad spend, if not all of it, go into sponsored products. I don't want to see any spend going into sponsored display, no spend in sponsored brands, unless it's a remarketing campaign for your own products or it's brand defense. I can make a separate video about this. But when you have a problem with tacos, you want to focus on this right here, sponsored product campaigns and nothing else. And I'll explain why in a second. When we focus on sponsored products, I only want, like if you're struggling with tacos or like profit, I only want you to have manual exact campaigns. Here, manual campaigns, and we are gonna go right here. Exact, we type in exact. You have a good naming convention that will help you a lot. This is the only campaigns you need to be having in your account. If you have any problems with tacos and profitability, this is the only thing I want you to do. Any of these ad types, sponsored brands, sponsored display, again, unless it's brand defense strategies or like some kind of views remarketing campaigns where you retarget people who visit your pages. This is used for scaling. This is used when you have most of your sales coming organically. And anytime you start to make more than 50% of sales from ads, you're gonna go back, you're gonna watch this video and you will apply the strategies that I'm going to share. If check that the account had high tacos, they had a lot of sales coming from PPC, like almost most of it, right? Just for the sake of example. So what we are going to do is we are going to start posing sponsored brand campaigns, sponsored display campaigns, unless they make a lot of sales. So let's assume in this case they don't bring a lot of sales. They still have a good ACOS relatively, but we're still going to post them. Why are we going to do that? Well, that's because these ad types, they are not going to help you with your organic ranking as much as sponsored products will. So, and you can run this experiment yourself. Start spending more sponsored brand ad types, like run a bunch of video ads or sponsored display, and you will see you'll start losing your organic placement most of the time. Unless you have a very good conversion that comes in organically. But most of the time we need to support it through PPC. So like I said, we are going to focus on sponsored products only and exact match type. So you may ask me, why exact match type, Vadim? Well, because in exact match type, when you target this keyword wood carving tool set in exact match type, this is the only keyword that's going to trigger in Amazon algorithm. When someone is searching wood carving tool set, the Amazon auction is going to give you like a higher score. I can make a separate video of how the auction works. It's going to give you a higher score in the auction, and it's going to place you higher in the auction. Like imagine an auction is a race. So you're most likely going to get a first place. There are other factors, bid, relevancy, but if you do exact match type, you have a good chance of showing up. So that's number 1 point. Point number 2 is that you're only going to show up for this keyword. You're not going to show up for wood carving tool set for beginners, for professionals. We want to be very precise and targeted when we have issues with tacos. This is the reason we only use exact match type. We don't want to trigger any random searches that you may not be very relevant for. So for example, like if you were to still be targeting broad match types, let's say mallet. This is a single keyword, broad match type, very broad. Anything people search for, mallet for woodworking, mallet for wood carving tools, cheap mallet, expensive mallet, kinds of combinations. You're going to show up for them. And sometimes Amazon, they've been very finicky about their broad match type. With broad match type, they may even replace your keyword to a synonym or something similar. So when you have issues with your profit on tacos, your targeting has to be very precise. No broad match type, no forget auto campaigns, no phrase match type, no product targeting, sponsored display, sponsored brands. Forget about these ads, and I want you to only focus on sponsored products, exact match type. And I guarantee once you make these changes, you will see your tacos, it will be reduced, most likely in a week. First week is going to be turbulent, you may lose some sales while you adjust your campaigns, but after a week you will see you're more profitable, you have lower tacos, and from that point on, what I want you to do is focus on exact targeting campaigns, make sure you have all the relevant keywords targeted, and again you're going to look at your PPC sales. Once you see that number goes to below 50%, then and only then you can introduce broad match type, phrase match type, auto campaigns. And again, every time you see this number goes above 50%, you make most of your sales from PPC. You follow that exact same approach. You either pause or reduce budget on brands, display ads. You reduce budget on phrase, broad match type. You limit the exposure, and you make your exact match type a king. You make your exact match type a king, and only this ad type will be working for you. Unless, again, most of your sales, they come in organically, and then you expand into broader targeting, and so on. This is the main mindset that we can use. This is the main strategy, main methodologies that you can use for yourself and that we use in our agency to help businesses become more profitable. I also wanted to mention that this approach, it's particularly useful for expensive products. If you have a cheap product anything below $10, you're probably not going to get as much advantage from doing this, because with cheap products the conversion is just much higher, and typically we can be more loose with our targeting. But if it's expensive product, if you're this particular case, the client's product is, I think it's over $100, so their conversion is 2%. So in this case, we would this video would be very useful. But since we are in the scaling phase now, we have most of our sales coming in organically. So I'm okay to use broad match type, phrase match type, auto campaigns, anything you want, right? Of the available options we are going to use. Last 30 days data, so this is sponsored products. If you look at 30 days, so this is their spend and sales, as you can see. In conclusion, focus on exact targeting campaigns in sponsored product ad types when you have issues with your overall profit and tacos, and when you see most of your sales are coming in from ads. Otherwise, when you see most of your sales are coming in organically, You can safely introduce other match types like broad and phrase. You can start auto campaigns, and you can also start running other ad types like sponsor brands and sponsor display. I hope you find this video valuable, and my goal with every video is to give you as much knowledge as I can to basically help you manage your PPC campaigns on your own. And if you ever need help, we are a PPC agency, so you can go to our website, fill out a quick form, and we can get back to you and do a free audit. Also, I've recorded a quick video about placements on Amazon PPC, which is really important. So go check it out. I'm going to paste it in this corner right here. And I hope to see you soon.